Hey guys, Ash Race Legends. Welcome to the video. Glad to have you all here with me today. Sending some love and some positive vibes your way today if you need it out there. Guys, how y'all doing? First of all, you doing well, hopefully? I'm hanging in there. I actually just set up a big tropical fish tank with my kiddo, and by big I mean 20 gallons, so not that big at all, but I figured this would be kind of our starting course to get into aquarium keeping, and I'm pumped because it's been a long time for yours truly, but I used to have a saltwater tank maybe like 15, 20 years ago, and I really crave those days again. But can I keep up with it, right? That's the thing with any pets in this world. Can you keep up and do a good job as an owner?
The custodian from Raskin Design is on the line. He said they found your keys in the koi pond.
Okay, thank you.
Anyway, that's what I've been up to. How about you guys? Today I wanted to go ahead and I used to do these videos all the time, and I haven't been doing them, and I don't know why, but I enjoy them. Hopefully a few of you guys do as well. And it's where I go back and I look at the last champions that I've maxed out on my account, and I give you kind of my review in hindsight, right? Like, what do I think of these champions? How do I grade these champions now that I've had time to build them, to try them out in different areas? A lot of these champions I've done guides on, maybe a couple here on this channel, almost all of them on my other channel, Raid Shadow Legends Guides, where I put my my other content. I have no idea why I have two Raid Shadow Legends channels, but I do. So check it out if you want to. It's all unedited though, so if you like the entertainment, you're not gonna find it there. You're just gonna find me unedited, raw, making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. You know what, let's just start with Fabian, right? This is in no particular order, but I've maxed out all of these champions within the last 2 months. So it's pretty fresh in terms of like the timeline here. So I picked like the last 13 or 12 or 13 or something like that. Anyway, Fabian, man, I guess the question is not is Fabian good? It's how good is he, right? Is he Armand's level? Is he better than Armand's? Is he worse than Armand's? That kind of remains to be seen a little bit, because I'm sure I'm in the same boat with a lot of people out there in saying that, like, I'm waiting to get the soul. And like at the time of this recording, this is not gonna go live for a couple days, but we actually have this after party path and I'm skipping on it. Yeah. I don't know. I know a lot of content creators make videos about like, should you go for it? Should you not go for it and whatnot? And I think that content's valuable, but I've never done that. Do you want me to? I don't know. I'm not going for it. Mainly because I'm not like apps. I have 20 sacred shards saved up right now, and I didn't buy them. I've saved these bad boys for once in my life. But I'm not in love with any of the champions that they're throwing at me on the ancients and sacreds in terms of like unleashing. So I'm probably gonna regret it, but I'm actually gonna pass on this one. I'm just gonna keep saving my shards for something more intriguing. So I don't know. It might be a mistake. Who knows? But anyway, I say all that to say that I don't have any empowerment. Obviously, I don't have any blessings on him. But there's no doubt about it, man. I mean, a lot of people call this one, including myself, not going too far out on a limb here, but I think he's S tier. Will he define the meta as much as Armand's has for the last year?
Stay out of my territory.
Probably not, because there's more ways to kind of combat these sort of champions. But I think he might be as good as Armand's, though. This A3 is insane. It is insane, because he can't be polymorphed the way that Armand's can, right? It's really good. It's decreasing the cooldown and getting rid of their buffs in one shebang, with a potential of the extra turn with petrification, and then that passive with the true fears every time somebody's revived. I'll tell you what, I'm still barely in the speed aura. I am still barely clinging on. I might make a video. I don't think anybody really cares that much, but I'm still with a week left in the season. I'm still hanging on to 76, top 100, somewhere in there. Damn it, my mic is in the freaking way. 76th. And I'll tell you what, my win rate is really pathetic. It's really bad. Granted, I'm going against the best players in the world, but it's embarrassing. But in no excuses, but it's reality, is I went into this like realizing that all my builds sucked. And I lost a ton. I've actually gone in there and really consolidated a lot of my best artifacts, and my win rate, like recently, the last week, has been a lot better. So like even champions like Armand, so I don't even have, I was going to show you the builds on all these champions, but even Fabian, I had him built and I was using him a lot, but I bumped my best speed pieces over to Armand's, and I started using him a lot more. So anyway, that's a long, I promise I won't be this long-winded on every champion, or will I? But Fabian, I think, is S tier. There you go. He's a really unique and a really, really powerful champion who's about to get a hell of a lot more annoying as people have him built and booked and empowered and awakened and everything else. Okay, the next one who actually got more recently than Fabian is Lammasu. Lammasu is really good. She's really freaking good. She's like, what, 20-way tie at the fastest champion in the game? You think... I think the first 116 plus speed champion that we have in the game will probably be the first Void Mythical, right? I'm not going too far on a limb again on that one, right? But hey, in a year from now, I bet we have 120 speed. I'm calling it right now. Anyway, hopefully it's that Faction Wars 2.0 Mythical champion. Man, Lammasu is really, really freaking good. I think that people underrate her. She got the AoE decreased attack on it, 70% on her A1. She got the block buffs, the true fear on all enemies. If it's a boss, you get the decreased speed instead. She's SSS tier for Hydra. The cleanse, the 2 intercepts, and that juicy turn meter boost is like a mini Shuzen. In the arena, I'm seeing her a lot more in the arena. Even in top arena, in live arena, I see her occasionally. She's immune to sheep, which is fantastic. And she's got the speed in all battles aura at 24. She's a good speed lead to boost your nuker with the Icon of Domination ability. I think some people might take issue with this, but I actually give her S tier. All right, next is my mythical. So I actually haven't, you may or may not have noticed, but I have not uploaded a shard opening in a while. I've been hoarding, as I told you guys about earlier, and I actually pulled a mythical out of like a random 10 pull of primal shards. I didn't record it, but I got Nell, Blackteeth. So, Nell is really freaking cool. I was so excited when I got her that I put her, not that anybody cares at all, but I put her as my main spotlight champion. I think she looks really, really cool on my player profile that, again, nobody looks at and nobody cares about. But Nell is, I'm not going to get into her kit because there's so much going on here, but briefly, she got a decreased defense, weakened turn meter fill. She's stealing all buffs from all enemies. She's placing poisons all over the place with her passive. She can really be a menace in the arena or live arena if you're not going, or classic, I guess, if you identify that the team has no polymorph, right? She can actually be pretty cool. But what I really like about her is her alternate form. I want to start with a passive really quickly. Whenever this champion kills an enemy using an active skill, she gets an extra turn. So she gets a kill, she gets an extra turn. Moreover, the cooler part, or just as cool, each debuff placed by this champion in either form increases her HP, attack, and defense by 2% up to 50%, and speed by 2 up to 50 in her alternate form. She can really become a killing machine, which is really cool. She has a hard-hitting cut 'em up, and she has an AoE with true fear. She doesn't hit like incredibly hard. She has a 1542 base attack, but that chain reaction you can get from the extra turns is really freaking cool, albeit it's a 2-turn cooldown on that as well. She's a really unique champion. She's a really cool champion. Unfortunately, she doesn't hit that hard on her alternate, even though she can power up, which is nice. And even though her base form is really awesome, it's just like, she's a mythical. You want something game-changing, like a Nice or an Arbias, right? I don't put her at that level. I'm going to give her a B-. When you look at her kit, like, you can say this about almost any mythical, right? When you look at her kit, you're like, wow, that's actually really good. But then in practice, you know, she's not value over replacement in many areas for me. Granted, I'm an endgame pay-to-win whale, you know. All right, next up is going to be Knave of Hearts. So I released a video on Knave of Hearts. I'll have a video, a full guide on Nell as well soon on the Champ Guides channel. But Knave of Hearts, I know that the sentiment, you know, in the community was pretty down on Knave of Hearts. But I like her. I actually really like her a lot. I love the 50% provoke on the A1. She's stealing 2 random buffs from every target on an AoE with a continuous heal on all allies with an unkillable and a taunt on herself. This is a busted A2 ability, like really strong, very unique. I don't think there's any ability in the game like this with healing, stealing, attacking, taunting, 3-turn cooldown. That's very powerful. Very powerful. Very underrated, I think. Because I thought a lot of people just saying she's really trash. Swap HE with a heal reduction. Increased defense on all allies, albeit a 4-turn cooldown. The heal reduction in a great heal there as well. Start of the champion's turn fully restores max HP. When attacked, destroys the attacker's max HP. I think destroying HP on the attacker, I think that's an underrated ability in the game. Destroying max HP is very powerful, and I feel like players kind of just intuitively underrate that ability. So you put it all together, I'm actually going to give her like an A-, around like a B+, A-. She's not endgame, she's not S tier or anything like that, but I think she's a lot better. What are the reviews? Reviews aren't that bad, you know? Phantom Shogun, she's like SS tier. Great taunt, great tank, fun in the arena as well. So I'll give her a kind of an A-. All right, Feral. He was the last, or I should say out of these 13 champions or whatever, he was the one that was 2 months old now. So I've had him for a while. I'll show you the build because of course I use him. I should just show you the builds on these champions that I am using here. So Nell, I have her in Stone Skin and Lethal. So I tried so many different builds on Nell, but I kind of landed on a nuker with protection, you know? But Feral is, I'm just gonna ruin the grade right out the gate. He's SSS tier, man. He's just one of the better legendaries in the entire game. I had him in protection, 9-piece. And then I switched him. I got my last Feral accessory that I needed. Switched him to Feral, and oh my word, it's insane. Him and a 9-piece Feral, I think it's the best build, right? Bar none. But he's in, you know, all of my best teams, obviously. He's my main Chimera team. He's in my main Hydra team. He's just so insanely good. And with that Feral, I mean, really quickly, 100% decreased speed on his A1, amazing. AoE block buffs, decrease accuracy, amazing for everywhere in the game, but especially Hydra. And then the increased resistance perfect veil, I actually don't use it on my Hydra run, except for that one trial that you need the perfect veil. Is it the Ram, I believe? So I have another champion in protection that has increased resistance and Drock on my team, so I don't want to get redundant and replace it. But it's still a great ability. But really, it's his passive, right? We talked about this before, but he's got resistance, accuracy increase, all that's fantastic. The accuracy is great to have. Sometimes I'm guilty of running kind of borderline accuracy to get more damage on my team, so this mitigates that. But the extra damage, under 4 or more buffs, which is always the case in the teams that I run them with, increased damage by 20%. That's just next level good. I have Brimstone on him. Really not sold on Brimstone, but using it. And there he is. That's Feral. He's S tier. He's F tier. Next is going to be Khan. The Wrath of Khan. Osama, can you find any Star Trek? That's a Star Trek movie, by the way. I'm old. Can you find any Wrath of Khan footage to stick in here? Cool. Khan, I have no gear on him right now, but he's actually really, really good. He really impressed me. He's better than I thought, right? He's a very unique, he's a Void Legendary though, so like, he ought to be really good to be a Void Legendary, right? He's removing a buff from the target on his A1. An AoE ignores the percentage of the target's defense equal to 50% of the difference between this champion's max HP and any shields on him. You don't really, when you read this for the first time, you're like, okay, is this good or is it bad? Like, what the heck, you know? It's good. It's very good. Plays a shield proportional to this champion's defense. So you want him with a ton of defense, fairly low HP because it's based on the difference, right? And he can smack. He's got a counterattack which goes into his A1 where he's removing more buffs. He's got a block revive on his A1. I love the block revive addition to the A1. and he's increasing his shield value. There's a lot of synergy here in his kit, and boy, he can really nuke. Removes a random debuff from this champion at the start of their turn as well. Every 4th turn removes all debuffs and places an increased defense. Increases champion's defense by 3% for each debuff removed by this skill, so you get like damage over time escalation built into his kit. He's a really cool champion. I like him a lot. I actually give him an A tier, maybe A minus. It's weird. Like I almost wish, even though he's doing a lot, I almost wish he was doing like a little bit more even, right? Because nowadays, here in 2025, you want to release a Void Legendary, make him a Void Legendary, you know? I'll give him A tier anyway, though. Speaking of a Void Legendary who's a Void Legendary, right? How about good old Chalco? Now, here's the thing. Chalco the Blind, I use him in Hydra right now, but I don't use him in the arena. And the arena was where I was most excited about getting my hands on Chalco the Blind. But can you see anything here? No empowerment, no awakenings. Listen, if I was grinding gold 5 or, you know, not as high as I am right now in live arena, I'd be using him even with this, right? I think he's an amazing, amazing champion. He's a great DPS in Hydra with a decreased speed on AoE as well. But I can't mitigate all the stat loss compared to my other champions. So I don't use him currently that much outside of Hydra. But boy, is he an amazing champion. He's S tier. He's an amazing champion. He's got ignore defense on his A1. He's got block passive skills, decreased defense, and a debuff spread. Extra turn if he kills an enemy. And then he's got the big AoE attack on the unrelenting violence. I love the name of that ability. Oh my word. And look at him, man. He's so cute. Chalco the Blind, little Chalco. Oh, he's like, I think he's a cute little bug, man. Some people say he's freaky, but you know, even, oh, whoa! Dude, I didn't notice until this very moment that he's got like a woman on his back. He's got a blind woman. Is that his, what the, is she feeling herself? What is, he's amazing. I mean, even this 8, the block passive skills with the debuff spread, that is nasty. That is nasty with the extra turn capabilities. Man, I use Carnage a lot in the arena. I'm actually using him more and more and more. He's one of my favorite champions in the game. So I already have block passive skills covered. However, Avoid Affinity with a debuff spread, his block passive skills is really, really insane. That all being said is he's S tier. I can't wait to start using him more. Very, very good champion. Next up is Togron the Conjoined. Togron the Conjoined is another Void legendary who I pulled off camera, and man, I'm underwhelmed by this dude, but I am actually using him. There's a I use him in a condition siege, in one of my condition sieges, right? As an Ogren tribe only siege, and I use him. I have Gizmak, so I have like this pretty nasty team that I run, right? I run, who else am I running on that team? Nobody really cares, but I'm running Grazer, Iron Gut, and who cares? Bellatar, Mage Slayer. Either way, though, listen. This is a very hard champion to grade out because he's fast. He's pretty tanky. 110 speed is great. What does he do? He's got a buff spread on his A1. Not bad at all. Granted, it's a 50% chance when booked, but still, that's pretty solid. It's actually a pretty cool A1 ability, right? He's got a heal and increased speed and a continuous heal, whose HP is below 50% after the initial heal, on a 3-turn cooldown. I don't like the conditionality. He's a Void freaking legendary. Just slap the continuous heal on everybody, please. Thank you. The Brothers Generosity, right? The conjoined head, I guess, Generosity. We have a full cleanse with a turn meter increased by 20% and an increased accuracy, right? Really good ability. Really good ability, right? And then increases champion's max HP every time they use an active skill. Stacks up to 50%. Resets each round, which is still okay. Also increases each ally's max HP of 5% every time they use an active skill. I gotta say, you read this dude's kit, he's got a speed in all battles aura as well. You could do a lot worse, but somehow I'm not in love with him, right? It's like, it's weird. You have any champions on your account? Like, look at this guy right here. Oh, man. I almost feel bad for this guy. He's got like snot coming out of his...
Can you please wipe your mouth?
Anyway, let's not look at him. Does he have anything creepy on his back? Yeah? Yeah, he does. He has a dead something. All right, anyway, I actually give him a B+. Reviews on this guy are atrocious. Absolutely atrocious, the ratings. Like, people hate Togron, and I would love to see a buff. But I mean, we just read the kit together. What do you guys think? Am I absolutely nuts? The cleanse, the turn meter boost, the increased accuracy, that's a nice ability. The heal, the increased speed, the continuous heal, that's nice. I love the escalation for everybody on your team. And the buff spread, I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe I'm crazy on the B-, but golly, he doesn't seem that bad to me. But granted, I don't use him, and I don't really use him either, so maybe the proof is in the proverbial pudding, right? Next is Esme, who I have not done a guide on. Shame on me. I'm going to be real with you guys on Esme the Dancer. First of all, Raid put out like one of these little graphics about the backstory behind Champions or whatever. Let me pull it up. Who cares, right? I'm doing so much random chatting with you guys. It's super late when I'm recording this video, so I'm in a mood right now. A good mood, but a mood nonetheless. Check this out, guys. Check this out. They shared this. I mean, it wasn't super interesting, but I kind of found some of it cool. Did you know, kind of a backstory on some champions. Marichka was named Zoriana during early development, okay? Roman military paraphernalia such as the Vexillium and the Aquilia inspired the banners carried by every faction unity, okay? And then Armand's and Esme were envisioned as siblings during the early concept stages. Also, Tatura Reinhard was going to be a skinwalker, but moved to High Elves. So she was supposed to be a companion sister of Armand's, and obviously you can tell by the aesthetic, right? I kind of think they should have been, but at the same time, who wants Armand's to get better, right?
Hey, sister.
Anyway, I actually really like Esme the Dancer, guys. I think the opinion was really divided on this fusion, and I was a fan. I was in the fan camp. What is her base speed? 113. Let's start there. Anything over 110 base speed, like it should be like a little light bulb indicator, like, maybe this champion's worth investing in, you know? It doesn't tell the whole story, but it's like a clue. Increased attack on all allies on an A1. I think she's the only champion in the game to have that. That's really good, really good. It's like really setting up, even on ally attacks or whatever, it's setting up all of our attack-based champions. It's a nice ability. Granted for one turn, but it's a nice ability. And AoE weaken and block buffs, fantastic in Hydra. And then on the A3, increase accuracy, increase speed on all allies for 2 turns, 100% chance when booked to removing all buffs from all enemies. The big downside is it's a 4-turn cooldown. No one is excited about that, but you pick up lasting gifts, put her in a relentless set in Hydra Clan Boss, and you might be able to keep them up there with a better uptime. One of my favorite parts, though, is whenever the champions hit, increase the turn meter of the ally with the highest attack by 50%. That's insane. This is like one of the most underrated passive effects, I think, in the game. Like, I didn't hear that many people talking about how busted that is. That's so strong. Like, this massive turn meter boost, 50% whenever she's hit. Oof, that is nasty. And then 50% chance to randomly change the attacker's hits to weak, normal, or strong hits. That's really strong too. You put it all together with a speed in all battles aura. Again, I think she's a tremendous champion. You might call me crazy, but I give her an A tier. I really do. I think she's fantastic. Next is Wuji. I just did a video on Wuji. Not many people watched it, but I did a video on her. I've been waiting to max this champion for so long. And she's very interesting, right? When counterattacking with her A1, she attacks all enemies with the big version of Weaken on an AoE. Perfect Veil and counterattack on a 3-turn cooldown on her A3, and a pretty hard-hitting World of Darkness on her A2. All AoEs here, right? I had her on my wish list for so long. I threw in a Crushing Rend, and she did very comparable damage to Varl the Destroyer in the video on Hydra. So really cool. Granted, she's super squishy. She's not a strong recommendation, but she's good. She's very good, like just for raw damage, right? And that's all she really brings to the table. But she's an absolute glass cannon. I will give her B tier, and I think that's being very kind. All right, Next up, but she's cool. Like, if you're looking for cool damage and Hydra and AoE situations, look no further than Wuji. She's really fun. This is one, if you haven't watched this video that I did on Sir Artemage, check it out, man. Check it out. He shocked me. I knew about this champion for a long time. Never really cared about him that much. What are the ratings are just meh on this guy, right? He has a remove all debuffs from this champion, attacks all enemies, a decently hard-hitting ring true ability on AoE. Pretty cool, whatever. On his A1, he's got decreased defense, decreased speed. Nice ability. This A3, though, this Unshakable Valor, attack one enemy, ignore 30% of the target's defense. I think in that guide that I put out on my guides channel on Sir Artemage, I think he put, at first I hated on this ability. Increase attack, increase crit damage if you kill an enemy. Like, okay, if you kill an enemy, I want it before I kill an enemy, man. Regardless of that, I think he did like almost 200,000 damage to Star Sage, to like a fully empowered Star Sage Galathier. He can one-shot almost anybody with this Unshakable Valor. It's just one of the hardest hitting single target epic abilities in all of Raid Shadow Legends. This Unshakable Valor, man, it really is. That being said, it's a single target hard hitting ability on a 4-turn cooldown. You know, does that make the entire champion amazing? No, but just because of how floored I was, man, he's just really another, like, put him in the Dirindil camp of a super underrated, like, really hard-hitting epic nuker. So, I don't know, what do you rank Pan, the Bowhorn? What do you rank Dirindil? Sir Artemage for me is around the same, probably a B+, you know? Jamarsa, we only have 2 left here, guys. This is a beautiful time, as we talk about Jamarsa, to give a massive, massive shout out to Ref account for Ashhound, and T-Flaz. Slacking a little bit, but T-Flaz got me a sacred shard. One of those 20 that I'm sitting on right now is all because of T-Flaz. I don't know who any of these guys are or gals, but I wanted to give a massive shout out to those people to help me on my friend referrals. I will keep them in. If they go like 2 weeks inactive, I'll do it again and I'll put out a call to action. But someday I will get Chronum thanks to my my helpers here. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much, whoever you are out there. If I see you in the comments, I'll pin you and love you forever.
That's conditional love.
Well, I already love you forever, regardless, you know? All right, Jamarsa. So I was able to get my hands on Jamarsa thanks to those guys. Also, shout out to Bront, awesome content creator who helped me as well, but I had to drop him because he was inactive on that account, which is totally understandable. But Bront is awesome. Check out my man Bront Cat Herder, great YouTuber. I'll have a link to his channel in the description below. Jamarsa. Jam. Yeah, let's do that. Jamarsa, man. Some people love this champion. I'm not one of them. She's got a heal, a single target heal. She does have some nice synergy with Chronum. She got to sleep on her A1. People are like, Sand Devil. I'm not getting excited about a 50% sleep. I'm not. Muckstalker has a 2-turn sleep and he's campaign farmable on a 2-turn cooldown, 100%. AoE Revive is nice, sure. It's a very weak, it's kind of like a Gorgorab AoE Revive. The only difference is Gorgorab is an old school OG, like original champion in the game, and she was released like 4 years later. Phasing is cool whenever an ally uses an active skill. There's a 20% chance to decrease the cooldown of that skill by 1 turn. That's not bad, not bad. Put it all together, listen, she's an AoE Reviver. If you can get her early and you need a Reviver, then she's going to be S tier for you, right? Like in progression. But she's not much of an endgame champion outside of maybe Faction Wars. Maybe she could have, some utility in Faction Wars 2.0 if you're lacking a Barbarian Reviver. We do have Soul of the Drakes, but maybe you need an AoE. So overall, I know people will disagree because I know a lot of people do like her based on the first guide that I did on her. But I'm just, maybe it's my endgame biases. Tried to be fair. Good progression champion, but she really falls off. The revive is meh, and the phasing is cool, but not enough for me. So I'm going to give her I'm hemming and hawing here. I'm going to give her a C. All right, last but not least, certainly not least, it's going to be my man, Marius. Yes, your boy finally got his Marius. To the shocker of absolutely no one, Marius is S tier, right? One of the best champions. You can make a case he's the best champion in the game. I have him lethal in Stone Skin. I'll be real with you guys. I have no empowerment, and I have a 1-star awakening. I still use him in live arena, and he's that good. However, he's challenging to build, you know? He's challenging to build for arena. He's not challenging to build elsewhere. I've tried him in Slayer. I've tried him a very fast Marius, sacrificing some damage, like way faster than I have him right now. I think I was running him at like 330 speed for a while with more accuracy. The reason he's challenging is you want defense, you want speed, you want crit damage, and you want accuracy. This build's kind of trash, I'll be real with you guys. You want it all, right? And in the arena, there is no high amount. It's not like, oh, I'm good with 500 accuracy. Now, he is helped tremendously. My defense is very low. My accuracy is fine, considering he brings his own increased accuracy, which makes things a lot easier with Marius, right? However, my defense is so low because I have double accuracy on the chest, because I found that I'd rather sacrifice a little bit of damage, considering he deals damage based on enemy max HP as well, rather sacrifice a little bit of damage just to ensure that I'm stripping everything off of all of the enemies that I encounter. And even with, you know, an 800 or so accuracy with masteries and everything like that included, it's still not enough to strip away like Star Sage Galatheers and stuff like that. So I still run into issues even with the 570 accuracy. Anyway, long story short is, I feel like I'm like trash talking Marius. I'm just saying he's challenging to build because we want everything and we want a lot of it, especially in PvP. That all being said, I still use him so much, even in the arena, even though I don't have all the goodies on him, primarily because I don't want to go against this dude, man. He's so strong. I mean, the fact that he can stun, self-buff, not just him, everybody for 3 turns. He can get back to this death or glory so freaking fast. He's a menace in the arena. He's a just god, a horse god in PvE almost everywhere. Anywhere you'd use an Acrizia or a Newt or whatever, you can use Marius. In a lot of situations, he delivers more value. So he's just like one of the coolest things that was ever done in Raid Shadow Legends, and really, I'm sure anybody who has him can relate. Just one of the most MVP champions you could possibly hope to get your hands on. S plus, whatever you want to call it, the highest ranking. It's Marius. He's got it. So there it is, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did. If I could make it more interesting in any way for you guys in the future, go ahead and let me know as well. Always appreciate your feedback. Guys, we're going to end the video there. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.